Hi friends, it's Kathy, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's in the Cards Divination. Today's Pick-a-Pile reading is going to be looking at your unused gifts. Now, everybody has gifts. You may not realize it, and that's what I'm here for, and tarot is here for, to try to find out what are your unused gifts that you have, and they're just sitting stagnant, waiting to be used by you for the betterment of your life. And I know a lot of times we don't always see ourselves, obviously, the way other people see us. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's not good. When it's not good is because we don't necessarily appreciate or see in ourselves the things that we are good at necessarily. So today's video is going to focus. There'll be a pile 1, pile 2, and a pile 3 for you to choose from. You will do the usual. You will stop the video or pause it, and you will focus on which pile resonates for you, which one is speaking to you that you feel will answer your question best. If nothing does, don't worry about it. You can always go to the next pile or go to the next pile. You don't need to worry about that. There'll always be another video later that could help answer your question. So you just take from it what speaks to you and what feels right. All right, my dear friends, I'm going to see you in your reading. Hi, friends. Well, we have our piles here for you to choose from, and this is with respect to unused gifts. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. This deck is from Doreen Virtue's Life Purpose deck. So there are different qualities or different areas in life. It's used often. I use it for career readings, but in this case, we're going to try it out with our unused gifts. So pause the video, as I said, and have a look and see which pile resonates, pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3, and go directly in the description box to the timestamp of which pile speaks to you. And I'll see you in your reading. Okay, pile 1, welcome to your reading. All right, this is unused gifts that you have, potential, things you're not utilizing. And then some things you know about, and sometimes there are things maybe you're just not aware of yet. So let's start by turning over our Oracle card for pile 1, and it is your life purpose involves your skills of oration. That's interesting. So this obviously has to do with people who deal in communication of all forms. Doesn't even necessarily have to be verbally speaking. It can be just in any type of communication, okay? But obviously, the majority of you, if this doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. It's just this is something that potentially for most of you seems to be the main theme here. Speaker. All right. We'll turn that over here. And let's pull some other tarot cards and see where this lands us now. Unused. Let's see. The first card we have is, the Two of Cups. Again, this is a card of meeting people and being in harmony and able to express yourself in a positive way. And this is, again, this goes along with the speaker idea that you're able to communicate face to face with people, not necessarily in a large crowd. It can just be one on one. All right, let's see what's other card we have here. Let me just pull it. The Queen of Cups. All right. And lastly, the Six of Cups. Wow, all cups. You don't see that too often. So, what I'm getting right away is you're somebody who likes to um, deal with things in your life in an emotional way, like as far as you have things pretty much figured out about your emotions. You're able to handle it. You're able to see things that a lot of people maybe would just get upset. So, say for instance, you have to deal with a difficult situation, you have been able to work on those skills with your emotions where you aren't, say, losing it as well. The Queen of Cups also tells me you're very intuitive, that for most of you, there is a strong intuition factor here in this, and you seem to go with your gut. So you understand, you can come up to people and get a good sense of who they are and what they're up to just by being in their presence. Okay. There's also the six is tells me that you're again, see, they're facing each other, and maybe you're also somebody, you're not just good with adults, but you're good with children. There seems to be someone here, like there's a resonance here that is able to deal with children one-on-one as well in a very positive manner and down to their level. So not only are you able to deal with adults, but you also seem to have a good grasp of a child and how you can relate to them. Okay. Now, let me pull one of my other tarot cards. Let's see what gifts that you have not tapped into. So you could definitely spend time not just with, as I say, in a group setting, although it does seem to signify you're good on all those levels. Let's just pull here pull this card. What do we have here? Oh, the Three of Swords in the reverse. Okay. So it also shows me that you're very good at being able to not only handle difficult situations with other people and conflicts, but potentially you are able to work on a healing basis, healing very difficult situations. Some people, I mean, this can apply to your occupation, your career, but it doesn't always have to. You could be doing something totally different in your job, but these are things that you may not be necessarily aware of. And if you may be aware of them, but you're not using them, you're perhaps not taking advantage of the fact that you are very good at this. These are things that come easier to you. And I would highly recommend what it looks like to me in total here is you're able, I'm not going to say a motivational speaker, but that is something that you would be good at, but also just even spending time alone with people and helping them with their problems. You're a good sounding board, you're a good listener, you're able to provide them with good sound advice. And people gravitate towards you. They listen to you. Even children, as I said, they trust what you say, and your intuition is usually spot on. Okay, so I would very much recommend if you wanted to, you don't have to find a career in these things, but reach out to people if you haven't already been doing so, helping them if they want your help. You would be a um, very good and providing a lot of benefit to many people in this regard. I get the feeling people come to you anyways about their heartaches and problems, but you just don't necessarily realize how good you are at it. It's just that it seems to always, you're the one who always gets stuck listening to all the sad stories about how this person was cheated on and this person was hurt and this couple broke up. But you are definitely somebody who they come to, and you're probably thinking, why am I always the one? They're always coming to me. I could use somebody to listen to me for a change. But it's because you have a very compassionate nature. You're very kind and loving, and you seem to have it figured out. You appeal to everyone, okay? So it doesn't say just necessarily talking, although that's the card. This also references any kind of communication. It can be through email, text, on the phone, verbal, written, you're able to come across in a very loving and compassionate way to help others. That is really awesome. I'm very excited about this for you, How One. And if it doesn't resonate with you and you think, none of those things, don't worry about it. Move on. That's what I say. Move on, and there'll be another reading coming up for you. Now, pull one of these oracle cards of advice, and let's see what they have to say about this too, right? Okay. It is study, study, study. Spirit has its own special way of letting you know it's time to study again. Expand your mind. Expand your mind. For some of you, this is telling you bluntly, it's okay to get out there and take some more courses. This isn't the way this is going. This is about your gifts. On a very basic level, this tells me you're able to help people in this studying. Maybe you're a good tutor. Maybe you have excelled in university or in whatever capacity in teaching. This is also telling me that you you can help everyone. And maybe some of you already are teachers that are listening to this. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing, oh, but I'm a teacher, or I'm already in the field. Well, it turns out there's a reason you gravitated towards that. Obviously, you're good at it. Again, doing for both children and for adults, you have the gift of being able to instruct and come across. So, this is another gift that, whether you're using it or not, you have. And it's sometimes we don't even realize we have the gift. As I say, we're already doing this. So I'm going to tell you, it's just learning old things in a new way, also. Okay. So this also tells me that, oh, yeah, it's about advice as well, providing help and advice to people, because you're able to take things that have been said time and time again and being able to turn it around into something almost fresh. That's what I'm hearing. It's like you can expand people's minds. That's what I'm seeing. This is more of a, not necessarily you have to get out and study. This is more, number one, you're good at teaching people things. And it can be on a very mundane level. It can be just as simple as sorry about that, instructing people how to do things or showing people how to do things. It can be seniors, it can be children, it can be anybody, right through to opening up people's minds to new ideas. That also came to me. I'm hearing that. So I'm going to leave this with you, Pawan. I hope that this helped you and provided you with some idea about your unused gifts that maybe are just sitting dormant right now. And it's time to open that door, open that box, and utilize them for the benefit of others. All right? I'll leave that with you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hi, Pal 2. This is your reading. Creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. Creatively, I should say. All right, so let's get started with this reading. This is the beginning. This is what it's showing me. Unused talents. Boy, this one's pretty obvious to me. Are you someone who's ever drawn or painted or sculpted any type of art form creatively? That's creating anything. And there's many forms of creative expression. Okay. So let's delve into this and see what the next card is going to show. The next three cards in tarot will show us about your hidden gifts. Okay. We have the Six of Wands. Let me pull that up to you here. Let's see. No, it's kind of bright, isn't it? Let me see if I can. Turn that down a bit. All right, the next card is the Star. And we have Five of Pentacles. All right. Right away, I focused on, well, number one, the Star is the strongest card in this particular reading. There's an element of you're a healer. This can be in many forms. There's all kinds of ways to heal and help others heal. This can be in forms of actual doctors, nurses, that type of healing. It can be spiritual healing. There can be just healing by being with someone and helping them. Okay? As simple as that. People see you as being very good at what you do, but you don't pay attention to this. This is something you're very humble about it. You're not somebody who seems to, in fact, it embarrasses you. I'd go so far as to say, if people compliment you on things, and even though you are good at that, this is something that if you haven't picked up, you need to try. And you're good at helping the sick, people that are sick that need help. This is you. You are able to make them feel better. Simple as that. You're also somebody who's very good with, on a very mundane level, I would say mundane, but the expression would be on a practical level. What I'm seeing is you maybe somebody that might be interested in astrology or star systems, planetary systems. The star card can represent that for some of you. It might be something that you always found an interest, but you kind of set aside because for whatever reason, life gets in the way, right? There is, as well as this creativity, there is a connection here between these two cards, because the Star is about optimism and healing and hope, as well as finding your path. You're being guided in the right direction. And this creative expression is a way of providing you with a path, very positive and healthy path. It doesn't mean that has to be your occupation or your career. It just means that this is something, as they say, maybe people have been putting them aside and not really paying attention. And doing these types of things will help you come out of your, um, how do I want to say it? For those of you, when you go through difficult times, these are things, these gifts that you can help others with that will help you in return. Okay. The Five of Pentacles, feel like you go after, like you're very good at helping the underdog. Like you really resonate with the people who are bullied or left out or downtrodden, the people on the streets, like people who are street people or people that don't have enough money and they're struggling. This is the kind of person you are. That is a trait, a given gift to you that you resonate with. And it's up to you to take that and apply it in a positive way. Any of these particular readings, that's going to help you, okay? And it'll help others, obviously, but in turn, it helps you. Okay, let me just see now. Pull up Mr. Tarot. Let's see what other great gift perhaps you haven't used. Okay, the Eight of Wands, but in the reverse position. Okay. I would say also you're somebody that doesn't rush into things. You think it through before you actually go for it. When it's in the reverse like this, it's things are move slowly or not at all. So you're very, very the word I'm looking for, you're very careful and cautious about doing anything that is a big decision. You take your time, you think it through, you plan. You're very good at planning. And you also may have a tendency to, I was going to say, want to be on your own. For some of you, there's a feeling of a homebody in this particular reverse card, the Eight of Wands. It feels to me as if you don't always want to be out there. In fact, when this card's in the upright, it often refers to traveling. But when it's in the reverse, it's like it's a lack of traveling. But in this case, when I see that, I see it as maybe you're somebody that does enjoy being at home and looking after your home and doing nice things around the home. And that's okay. You don't have to always be doing out there. Being at home is also a good thing. But this card then tells me more that you are somebody, like I say, more importantly, you're very careful at what you plan. And you make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you actually um, do anything big, which is very admirable. Okay. Yeah, people really admire you. And you probably, like I say, you don't even realize it. And perhaps you are embarrassed, as I mentioned. Sometimes some people aren't very good at taking compliments, and that can be reflected in there. Let's pull an oracle and see what else we can come up with here. Oh, you're a very compassionate, loving person. I can totally feel it. You also have the potential to go further than what you are right now because I feel strongly, and I'm getting this leadership, leadership, leadership. It's like you're somebody that can lead other people. And I feel it's probably through this where you are wanting to help the less fortunate. Okay. And that's an awesome thing. That's a gift for sure because you're able to relate in some way. Your compassion shows through, and you're able to get people to help and follow. Okay, so let me pull another card here. All right, we have nature. You know what? I was thinking that when I saw these animals. Yes, somebody who's very much in tune with the natural world out there. You love to be out in nature. Maybe you're somebody that even enjoys hiking, gardening, those types of things, and you're good at it. It's not even just about that. There is a deep connection for you with the environment, with all that there is, like in the world of nature and animals and the flowers and the plants and everything of that nature and everything like the solar system, the whole material world that is of natural organism. This is something that really you're drawn into, okay? And that's wonderful to do. So spending time in nature with for you is paramount. It's something you need. If you're not doing it, do it. You really, and also underdog situation here. Those are on the out. Nature is definitely something that's overlooked by most people. If you're not somebody who does, to you it's very important and you want to improve the world. We all do to a certain degree, but you're really up there on the platform. You want to be up on the platform and I believe you have the capability of leading people in that regard, like helping maybe by organizing some kind of a group um, cleaning up the ditches, helping get into nature and helping create hiking trails or just kinds of things we can do, planting trees and all the things that improve our own world that we live in today. That's really wonderful. Okay, my dears, so pile number two. I hope this made sense and something resonated for you. And I will leave this with you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye for now. Pile three, here is your reading. Okay, we have environmentalist. Well, that talks about nature and animals, which is what we know. It's not even just about the environment as far as animals and trees and all that, but it's about protecting and loving the world we live in that surrounds you. All right, that's the opener. Let's get going here with tarot and see what gifts, unused gifts you have that you could use to improve things for your life and others. Okay, let's see here. The first card is the Hangman. Right. The second, Justice. Wow. Holy. You don't see that too often. Two major arcanas. And lastly, the Nine of Pentacles. Totally. This is the environment. That is the material world. That's the world we live in. You are very much in tune with nature. Look, the bird, I know. But in the garden, definitely that is where you excel. From as simple as gardening all the way up to working with animals, that is certainly your forte. And you really resonate with the birds. Oh my goodness. Some of you could be into birding, could be into just watching the birds and how and now that it's spring here, they come back, and it's beautiful to see the creatures of the earth. There is the justice quality. You don't like seeing things unfair, unequal, things not going in a fair way. That's pretty obvious, but it's true. This is something that goes really deep in your soul. You don't like bully situation, most of us don't, but it just really drives you crazy. Um, you can't stand to see someone who is less fortunate and not getting what they just deserve. That is something, for some of you, this could be as simple as actually you would be good at working in the justice system, whether it's in legal or even with the police, that type of thing. This could also be referring to that type of a career if you were thinking of career. This is more about gifts. You have the gift of trying to make wise decisions in a fair manner. You like to treat people in a fair way, and you don't like to see people um, not receiving what is due to them. Okay. Hangman reflects to me the fact that, well, number one, there is a deep spirituality in you that you resonates. And it could be something that you're in the process of seeking. And I don't say this too often about the spiritual process or part of it. The hangman to me, especially in fact of the halo, speaks to me of the spiritual qualities that you would be very good at pursuing. In other words, if there's a modality in the spiritual world that you're interested in, this is something that it tells me would be you would actually start getting a lot of good energy from it, and a lot of positive feedback and all that type of stuff. It would really work for you. You're also somebody gifts I'm seeing for some of you, you're willing to sacrifice for what is right in this world, okay? You would give up whatever it is to help someone to do something. If it meant, say, saving an animal or helping your cause, you are so driven by the justice card in your world, even though you may not realize it, you want things to be right for everyone. Unfortunately, the world we live in does not that does not happen. We know a lot of times people don't get what they should and is what is deserving to them in a positive way. A lot of times, that people work hard for their money, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have a good job or that they receive a lot of accolades. But that's the type of thing that makes you crazy. You really, really want things to be fair and right and well. Okay, so let me pull another card. And let's see. What do we have for your gifts? Okay. All right. Let me see here. Unused gifts. We all have them. Two of Pentacles. Okay. But in the reverse. So what I'm seeing with this card then is you are somebody who very much has a hard time. Just give me a moment. I'm just resonating here. I'm trying to hear what I'm getting. Two in the reverse. You really want to help get organized. You know, like often the two pentacles for me is you you just can't seem to get everything done, okay? But I feel for most of you, this isn't everybody, so if this doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. But there's a lot of people that are very good at helping organize and clutter, I'm hearing. Organizational skills in some fashion. And you're also very much able, I'm hearing this too, you're able to let go of things easy. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean physical things. It could be things that are bothering you. You're able to, and again, this is for the not for everybody, but there's certain people that can do that. It's like you can drop the balls and just move on. That's a gift. That's an unused gift. Not many people can do that. It's like for most of us, we chew on a problem or or somebody hurts us or upsets us and we it makes us angry and frustrated. We'll sit and redo it in our mind over and over. For some reason, there's some of you that are able to just kind of go, move on. You're able to do that. And this is a very good way of being because it's up there with forgiveness. You're able then to not only just move on, but help others to forgive and by letting so they can let it go too, right? Okay. So you're also, for some of you, you really are good at helping. And I mentioned this about the organizing and the decluttering and the helping. You want to help others declutter or others get organized, other in whatever fashion. It can be a job, it could be just on a very basic level around the house. But you have that ability to be able to put things in a particular way and to give you peace, okay? Because when they talk about this, I'm big on this now too, but it's like if you get yourself organized, it gives you peace of mind. It also helps you feel less stressed, okay? So for some of you, this is something that you want to help other people with. The only problem with this gift, not everybody else wants help with it. So you have to discriminate you have to make sure they want that help, okay? Sometimes it's just helping people on a very basic level. You're good at it. You're the one that's always going to offer up help. Okay. Let's see. And that's a fantastic trait. You're the one that always jumps in and okay, I'll help you. I'll do this. I'll do that. You're the first person that shows up for the moving part, excuse me, the moving day help. All right, let's see. I this jumped out. Vulnerability. I haven't actually seen this card yet. This is a new one. Okay, you are someone who feeling somehow negative. Okay, talks about the vulnerability, but what it also says is you aren't afraid to allow yourself to feel vulnerable because that is a very difficult thing to do. In other words, there's an expression you wear your heart on your sleeve and it's open to everyone. The only thing is, of course, you take the risk of getting hurt. But being vulnerable opens up so many things to people. It gives you opportunities to get close to people and to find out perhaps more about them that they wouldn't share unless you were open to it by being vulnerable. Now, this also works with relationships, obviously. Anytime we go into any kind of relationship, we usually open ourselves up to being vulnerable, and that always opens up the opportunity to get hurt. So, this gift, even this is probably something you don't even realize, okay? And maybe it's not even something you realize you do. And you're not somebody who's closed off emotionally. You're somebody who's very open. You have an open heart. You're very kind. You're very compassionate, especially around the environment and nature and animals. But you want to, this vulnerability, I'm hearing the words, it's about helping people. This goes back to helping, which you're probably already doing. I'm sure you are, because that's something that comes easy to you, okay? And maybe you just never realized why you do it, or is that just a personality trait? But it means that you're very compassionate. You want to see other people, you want to ease their burden. That's the expression I was looking for. Ease their burden. And by being vulnerable, it also helps other people open up. They don't always, as we know. Sometimes, I mean, closed off people will always be closed off. But this does help them. And you share it. You share it with them. Okay. You're a very kind person. Kindness to a fault. So I used to say, where you will sometimes get hurt. That's also what the vulnerability tells me. You're the kind of person that is so kind that you do open yourself up to the risk of getting hurt. All right. So I hope this resonated for you, Pile 3. I will leave it for you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye for now.